Hey, what's going on, good people? You already know the deal. Russ can fly, and you know this. So before I go to the airport and do my thing, I really appreciate all the new subscribers. It really means so much to me. It's so affirming to know that, you know, I'm reaching out to people and people are responding to the content, and it's meaningful. So I definitely wanted to, you know, give some thanks by giving some subscriber shout outs just to let people know how much I appreciate them subscribing to the channel. So I had to write these down. Please excuse the mispronunciation of names. I mean no disrespect whatsoever. All right, so subscriber shout outs to Peter Malillo, Julian Miranda, Lee Kitson, Anton Herr, Mike Mosley, Scotty Moreland, and Flyboy22. So Peter Malillo, Julian Miranda, Lee Kitson, Anton Herr, Mike Mosley, Scotty Moreland, and Flyboy22. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. A brother really appreciates it. I do. All right, let's get on out of here. Let's go fly. Grip up. All right, nobody behind us. Master on. Wingsfield, Cessna 91 Quebec Sierra, taxiing from the upper ramp for runway 24 wings. So this lesson is equal parts boring and exciting. Boring because I'm repeating a lot of maneuvers that I've done over and over again, but exciting because it's time to start trying to not necessarily perfect because it's never perfect, you can always improve, but these maneuvers are being done in preparation for my check ride. I can't believe I'm actually saying that word. Check ride. Yes, so the check ride is the exam that you take. It's in two parts. There's an oral exam part where you actually have a discussion with a DPE and you then take them flying. And so just think about that time when you were 16, 17, 18 or whatever, and you were doing your driver's license exam with an examiner. Well, it works the same way when you are getting your pilot's license. The only difference is there's an oral part first, and it takes a couple hours because there are certain ACS standards that you must go through before you even get to the flying portion. You can fail the oral and not get to the flying portion, and so each component is extremely important. But to even be talking about the check ride is so exciting because that means I'm getting near the end of my training and I'm getting that much closer to becoming a licensed pilot, and I can't believe I'm even talking about check ride. So I thought I would take you on this lesson so you can see some of the maneuvers that I have to practice in order to make sure I am proficient and prepared for my flying portion of my check ride. So let's go through a few maneuvers. Wings traffic, Cessna 91 Quebec Sierra, departing runway 24 out to the north, wings. All right, heels to the floor.
Just real quick.
All right, full power. All right, airspeed is alive. Oil temp, oil pressure, suction all look good. And rotate.
Not bad at all. Just a little good. I mean, the bumps wise.
Yeah.
That was a great takeoff.
Oh, thank you.
It's not too bumpy.
Yeah,
once we get out of the hole.
Yeah.
We'll move around a little bit. You can turn to a 340 heading.
340.
I'm at 3,000.
Wings field. Wings traffic to Cessna 91 Quebec Sierra, turning out to the north, last call, wings.
Actually, let's go 330.
330?
Yeah.
All right, climbing to 3,000.
Alright, so we'll go out a little bit longer on this heading for a little bit. First thing first, we'll do is steep turns.
Okay.
I'll remind you again, with every maneuver, ask yourself what the configuration is supposed to be in, then clearing turns, and then setting yourself up to do it, right?
Right.
So what configuration is steep turns done in?
So steep turns are in the clean configuration.
You can do it in cruise configuration. Either one is fine.
Okay.
Clearing turns we'll talk about. What are you trying, what's the goal here?
So with clearing turns, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to clear the area, make sure there's no one in the area.
You can start them now.
Okay. So.
And remember, take this opportunity while you're doing the clearing turns, you're still looking out, but get the plane set up to start the maneuver, right?
Right.
So what are we supposed to be at here? What speed, what altitude, everything, right?
Right. All right. All right, I'm gonna go back to my north heading and get ready for my steep turns.
Remember, you always want to start these on a visual reference as well to help you out.
Right.
So if you can find something that's hard to see with the snow, so there's one thing, it doesn't have to be on this north heading, right? You can look around and find a nice visual point.
Yeah.
What's over there?
So I'm gonna use the towers.
Yep, perfect.
Because that's always good. I can see that smoke.
Yep. Because we know how bad this heading indicator is and everything like that, right?
Right.
This is a visual maneuver, so.
Right. All right, I got the nose on it. I am going to go to the left.
What speed do we start at?
Oh, that's interesting. I forgot.
And 95 to 100.
95, okay.
So you want to take that power back, usually around a little bit higher than 2,000 RPM. Still stay level at your altitude, right?
Right.
So this is what I was talking about, like getting this set up while you're doing your clearing turns.
All right, I got
you. Just take your power out, it's fine. But, in the future, it could be something to think about.
Gotcha.
Remember, you have plus or minus 100 feet, plus or minus 10 knots on the airspeed, plus or minus 5 degrees on the bank, plus or minus 10 degrees on the rollout heading. Okay?
Okay.
So the main things you're really looking at is keeping your bank constant, and then, obviously making the corrections you need to increase that pressure. And, once you bring that nose up, add a little bit of power as well, not so as you don't slow down too much.
Gotcha.
All right,
let's go. To the left.
All right, as I go to the left, I want you to pay attention to the magnetic compass that's sitting on the dashboard there and see the line between the ground and the sky. That is the horizon line. Keep your eye on that compass. It should stay right on that line for the steep bank turn to be coordinated. And as you can see, it's going under, and it's kind of staying under. It should be right on the horizon line, and that should be the visual reference I should be using. That's how you know that you're within the parameters of the steep bank turn. Too low.
So get back up to 3,000. You were good in the beginning of it. Just at the end of it, you just kind of let it come down. Again, I like you to feel those loads, but if it's too hard, you can use a swipe up and trim if you want.
Okay, gotcha.
Just to help you out.
Okay.
But
all right, gonna go to the left.
Okay, so when I go to the left, I usually do a little bit better just because I have a better visual reference sitting on the left. But again, watch the compass. It starts off a little low, but then I pretty much get the compass on the horizon line once I get the nose back up to where it needs to be. And then I do pretty good once I'm, into the turn. And so that's where it needs to be, both directions, right where it is now. If I do it like I'm doing it now, boom, I will have this maneuver in the bag, baby.
I want you to go right to the right, okay?
Okay.
So you level here. Alright. Level the wings for a second. Remember, take that rudder out once you're level, right?
Yeah.
Let's go right to the right. Keep it coordinated.
And again, going right to the right, watch that compass. I do a little bit better on this one. See where it is? Keep it right there, Russ. Keep it right there. Don't let it drop. Don't let it drop. Right there. Right there. Almost. Yes, right there. Perfect. Keep it going. See, that's where it needs to be. If I can keep that puppy right there, yeah, I'll knock that one out of the park. What?
Perfect.
I think that was the best one I did to the right.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So just maybe remember to add a little bit of power in the turn a little bit, just because I think you're within the standard still.
Okay.
But you got a little slow, right? You're right at the edge of it. All right. Feel comfortable with those?
Yeah.
All right. But just remember the coordination aspect of it, right? I should have to remind you.
Yeah.
It's not even that you have to look down. You should know that as you just like have your hand and foot connected. So as you're going in, add some more rudder until you look down and see that ball in the middle, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
You should know, right?
Yeah.
When you're turning, especially when you go that steep, you're gonna need
some rudder. Yeah.
All right. Let's get into slow flight.
All right, let's go slow flight.
Yep.
All right, so
we're going to stay at this altitude. All right, do not climb. Carb heat first.
So carb heat.
And mixture first as well. Mixture rich.
West, inbound for stop and go, runway 35.
Millville traffic, 48 Echo, left base for runway 32.
All right, first notch flaps.
Keep it around 50 knots. Pitch for airspeed, power for altitude.
Yep.
Alright, are you too slow? You're good. I just like keep it closer to 50, it's easier that way for you.
Left crosswind for 32,
So the whole point of slow flight is to make sure that you can control the airplane when it is kind of at its slowest, or like when you're coming in for a landing. Want to make sure you can keep the wings level, keep the plane coordinated, all of those good things. And so when I do my check ride, the DPE is going to want to be able to see that I can control the airplane in slow flight, that I can keep it coordinated. And so that's why I'm practicing this maneuver, which then sets me up for the stalls. Now, I don't mind the power off stall, but I can't stand that power on stall. So anyway, let's get to that.
Really good.
Thank you.
All right. Let's do a turn. Just a right turn to 060.
Okay.
And this will be our clearing turn to start a power off stall.
Okay.
Talk to me as you're doing this.
All right, 060.
And how you're going to get into the stall and what you're going to do to get out of it.
All right.
While you're doing this, just talk.
Okay. So I am going to pick an altitude. I'm going to come down like I'm coming in for a landing.
Yep.
I'm going to go pyro idle and then hold that altitude.
Okay.
And once the plane stalls, I'm going to carb heat off, power to full, and first notch of flaps up kind of all simultaneously, and then watch for a positive rate. And once I got it,
positive rate above 65 knots as well.
Above 65.
The most important thing about getting onto the stall is what you're supposed to do. You missed it.
Oh yeah, just reduce the angle of attack.
Reduce the angle of attack.
Right.
The most important thing. All right.
All right.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So I'm going to go down to 4600, and then get into it.
Really get that nose down like you're coming in to land.
Okay, so I'm bringing that nose down like I'm coming into land, and time for a power off stall.
Nice stable descent, which we're at right now.
Twin City traffic down 161 Charlie Alpha, 7 miles.
3600 is a good altitude if you want.
For runway 25, Twin City. Carriage traffic, Cherokee 91 Whiskey, turning right base 28.
So now the engine is at idle, and you will begin to see me pull back on the yoke, and you just watch the nose and wait for the drop.
Ocean County traffic, Skyhawk on base for 32 Ocean County.
First notch flaps. 6500. Looking for a positive rate. Positive rate. 6500. Flaps up.
55 knots, but yeah, perfect. You level off here, just level here.
Okay.
Perfect, beautiful, right? We could do a power on stall. No need to do clearing turns on this heading.
Okay.
Do not like power on stalls.
Power on stalls.
Power on stall. So full power.
Yeah, it's starting to slow down now. The car beat on, power back to 1500, or even less, to be honest. Slow down to a rotation speed, right?
Yeah.
Then you go full power, pitch up, and stall it. How do you recover?
Reduce the angle of attack.
And then establish climb. Remember the right rudder throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? Wait until you get to 55 and then do it.
You may be wondering, why do I not like power on stalls? Well, because the right wing in a Cessna tends to drop in power on stalls, and I just don't like the way that feels. Period.
Heritage traffic, 901 Whiskey, clear the active.
Don't do too much, don't do too much. Because that'll make things hard for you when you want to recover.
Yeah, I was just feeling a lot of pressure.
You can start it.
Start it up?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now watch that nose go to the sky. And of course I chicken out a couple times because, you know, I know it's going to drop and I don't like it.
This heading, right? Don't let that.
Now watch, that right wing is going to dip just before it starts to stall. This is what I hate. See, look at this right here. Oh, I can't stand that.
Didn't stall yet.
Queen City traffic, 901 Charlie Alpha.
Too much left.
Forward, Carroll.
There it is. Deuce, and then climb out at VX.
Winchester traffic, Cirrus 333 Juliet Tango inbound.
I want you to level at 4,000.
Okay, level at 4,000.
And while you're doing this, while you level at 4,000, give me a left turn to 240.
240.
Good, that was good.
Thank you.
Both those stalls were good. You lost about 100 feet on the power off stall, so that's great.
So we ended up doing some other maneuvers, but unfortunately my cameras died by the time we got to them, because one of the things that we did is we also did an engine out simulation, and that just didn't go well. I basically pitched for best glide and just, you know, messed that up. And so by the time we got through a conversation about that, we had to then do our S-turns and our turns around a point. And so by the time, like I said, I got to that, the cameras died. So maybe in another video I'll try to get to those maneuvers pretty quickly and then show the engine out routine, because that was kind of fascinating. But at any rate, for this lesson I'm going to go ahead and bring her on home and you know, say another step in the journey to becoming licensed. All right, let's land this baby. Now I wanted to show this landing because it was definitely one of my more challenging landings. It was about a 10 to 15 knot crosswind, almost directly across the runway. So I had to do a little bit of a slip and a lot of stick and rudder stuff. And as you can see, we were bouncing around a lot and really had to fight to get it on the runway. But I did it, and was definitely feeling a lot more confident about my ability to land in a crosswind. So this was a good lesson. I definitely am feeling more confident about a lot of my check ride maneuvers, but also this landing proves that, listen, if I get in a pickle and if there is a crosswind, I can get it down on the runway. So felt pretty good about this one. All right, let's wrap it up. All right, a little bit of exhausting flight lesson there. Maneuvers are always tough, and I'm always like really having to focus tremendously because there's certain minimums or tolerances or specifications I'm supposed to meet for the Airman certification standards, or the ACS. And so, yeah, it's really tough, especially when I'm doing my short field landing, the turnaround a point, and all that kind of stuff. There are specific criteria I must meet or else I will fail. That's the bad news. The good news is, here I am at this stage in my flight training and talking about the check ride. Yes, the check ride. This is the point in the training where I basically get in a airplane with a designated, I think it's a DPE, can't remember the name of it. I'll put it in the comments or whatever. But I'll be in the cockpit with a DPE. He or she will go through maneuvers. At first it's an oral part, and then after that we go and we fly. And if I pass, I become a I get a pilot certificate. I become a licensed pilot. Bottom line. Blah. Probably should cut all that out, but whatever. But at any rate, just to be talking about that is like kind of scary but exciting, because I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I really do. I am getting there. And if you don't remember that one day in July where I talked about, and I'll put that video in, you'll see it as a card. It'll come across the screen at the top up there. The first video I made where I was talking about not even knowing what I was doing and not even knowing how to fly and any of that kind of stuff. So I'm getting there, people, and you guys are making the difference. It took me through the pandemic, all of that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate it. All right. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would say that you should do so immediately and join me on this journey, because we're just getting started. I mean, once I get my license, then it's on. I mean, we're really gonna do some great stuff. So at any rate, and subscribe to the channel. Stay with me on this journey. Russ can fly. I'm having fun. Hope you are too. I'm out. Peace.